When I met Jagero, he was so shy. He was loud, but still shy. He was very loud, but
shy.
There's things he was very cautious about saying. These days, ameharibika sana.
I think that you learn from the best. Shaka is rogue, and I think you're also rogue.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Rogue.
Yeah, so you get used to the rogueness sometimes.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Roberta Bobbie, and thank you so much for joining us today on Heartfelt with Bobbie here on Dialogues with Jagero. Today, I'm joined with Shaka, the beautiful Shaka, and that. Can I say that ass is? I said that ass is popping. That's what I said. And Mr. Oduor Jagero.
Good for Shaka. The world need nutrition.
Today
we're going to find out why we are talking about Shaka's ass. But the conversation that is...
Why is your mic looking down like it's an erection?
Hey.
Can we breathe on set? Can we breathe?
Sorry.
So today we're going to talk about nutrition, the body, how weight loss, how to gain weight, how to lose weight, and ways that are dangerous or ways that are harmless, ways that we can advocate for. That's what the conversation is going to revolve around. And like I said, today I'm joined with the beautiful Shaka. Hi, Shaka.
Hi. I'm just waiting for the comments. Like every time someone's ass is mentioned, you'll just see men commenting, tupewe 360s, Julie.
Tupewe 360? What does that mean?
They want to see.
Or to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't want to hear about it.
But ass is really good. It's really nice looking at ass. A woman's ass and her boobs.
Not a man's ass.
I don't know about a man's.
I think women like...
Yeah, men's asses look nice.
Yeah, but there are very few.
Jagero, are you remembering when I had my auntie here and my... Do you remember?
They talked about whose ass?
Whose? Do you remember?
Whose ass?
Tell us a bit more.
No, I don't remember that conversation.
They were so fascinated with Jagero's ass. They loved his body. They were just really excited. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna... They were so giddy. Like,
but why? They didn't give me money. People never give shit to me.
How did it feel?
Huh?
How did it feel?
Weird.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
You don't like being complimented on like your...
On my
nice
ass? No.
That's how women feel every day, man.
I don't think if you compliment my face, my beard, my arms, my whatever, my legs, I would feel some sort of good way. But I think talking about my ass, I don't think it's not. I don't know.
I think you're just not comfortable with compliments overall. So for someone to take it to your ass,
is that
then
so?
it's
Is that
unsolicited.
so? Do you think that I struggle with compliments?
Yeah, I see you struggle, not at you, I think. I see you struggle. But these days you've been doing really well. You've even been complimenting me out of nowhere.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
You learn. As a villager, these things catch up with you in town. In the village, people don't compliment. What time do you have to compliment when you've got to go through the shamba and dig? So just in town there are so many things like compliment me. I think
in town is when people don't.
Even in relationships, women wanting you to open their doors. They want you to pull out the chair.
Ushagua kuna hiyo mambo.
Which chair?
Which door?
Kibanda ni bench. Unakuta kama watu wamekaa.
No, but I think the love.
Who's willing the chair?
I think the love for the village is different. Yeah, it's like kukupenda kwa baiskeli anakupandisha,
kuchinjiana kuku,
kukuletea gunia ya mahindi.
Yeah, a little bit of that, but you see, it is all fun. It's all
but
fun.
It's really, I think it's really romantic.
But it's just different kind of love. It's just the same. I think it's the same. It's just that, like, it's aesthetic love, the one for the city.
What women really appreciate in the village is being, escorted to some place, and then a little bit of holding hands.
Ooh.
So intimate,
and just touching a little bit of the waist when
I should go to the village now.
Yeah.
You know, there is a time I went to visit a woman. Have I told you that story?
No.
There's a time I went to visit this woman. Oh, it was so romantic. The most romantic thing I've ever seen, man. So this girl used to live in the village, deep in the village, but the father was a military guy. So they built a very, very good house in the village. You know, like you see those villages in American movies. You know, it is so good, but it's right in the village. So I went all the way in Loyaland, you know, up to, that girl is also bold, man. That girl asked me to come to her village home, and her father was around.
And he's a military guy.
Yes.
Did you go?
I went. and her mother cooked me tea. And then she told her father that we are going for a walk.
Huh?
Hey.
And we went into the forest.
Huh? And what happened in the forest?
Dick sucking.
No, we didn't have sex at all. We didn't.
You just went to the forest.
We just went to the forest and we walked, and I was feeling so good.
Actually, Jagero was
Came back and we ate chicken.
Hey,
The mom had cooked.
Yes.
these are not the stories I hear when I hear military dad.
Yeah, he was just chilling, doing his own things, you know, slashing and, you know.
Maybe he saw a strong, robust,
But
promising
you know, that
man.
is the kind of girl.
Man.
When people talk about a woman that is comfortable in her skin, I think that was that sort of a woman. Very good relationship with the father, very good relationship with the mother, very good relationship with men. And she used to be bold, man.
I mean, I think the boldness comes from your dad is a
The
military
parents.
man.
Yeah.
He can do worse to you than what you do to me.
I wanted to kiss her and she said, wait,
Ask for permission.
let's kiss another time. Fuck, that was, should have allowed me to kiss her at least. But I held her hand at least.
Yeah.
Life is like that. You take whatever you get, right? Shaka.
Yeah, I'd like
No!
I'd like for us to progress this conversation. Have I cut you off?
No,
I'm
not at
so
all.
sorry. I'd like for us to progress this conversation into healthy living and,
Yeah.
you know, taking care of our bodies. So Shaka, tell us a little bit about, you know, how you've been taking care of your body. And I bring this up because, you know, you've mentioned that you've been trying to lose weight actively, but in a very healthy, natural way. So maybe tell us a bit about that. Ye imetokea wapi na mbona unataka ku lose weight na mbona ulianza na nini unafanya hata?
Nini nafanya hata?
Yeah.
What are we doing at the end of the day? Where did it come from? I woke up one day and like I realized every 2 weeks I'm going to get medicine for something. And I was just tired. I've never just even been a medicine taker, and now I have to take medicine for something. And I think it should have hit me earlier because it hit me like 2 years ago. It should have hit me when I was diagnosed with ulcers. But when you're diagnosed with ulcers, they don't tell you what caused it. They ask you, so how have you been eating? How have you been feeling? But they don't tell you this is what exactly caused it. And then they don't really treat it. And that's something that like I've realized. They don't really treat ulcers in this country. They give you medication to manage the symptoms.
Is it treatable? Do you think it's treatable?
That's what I'm shocked that.
Yeah, because even
that
me, I've only heard of mitigation.
I thought that the medicine they give for ulcer, because I have suffered ulcers before, and what they were giving, I thought it was curing it.
It's not curing, it's just managing the symptoms. Like you're given antacids that manage the acidity, reflux, the indigestion you get, but it's not really fixing the ulcers thing. It's every time you have an attack, you have to take this thing.
That's so true.
So it's not really treating it, they're just managing the symptoms. And like when you take a step back and you look at the general picture, you're like, when I really think about it, I think in terms of this being a business, I would understand why they do that. Because why would I treat you for something that I can be making money from every time, you know? So when I was diagnosed with ulcers, first, if you've ever been given that ESO kit, nightmare of a thing to drink, like, me, I'm with you, like, we've been on that boat before, because they give you, like, a 23-week thing to take. You have to take pills every day, and it's like, at the end of the day, am I cured? No. But
just
when you
manage.
feel bad, take this. So that didn't make sense to me because I was like, every 2 weeks I'm spending money on and not really getting better. I'm just managing the symptoms. So what really is the issue here? So I used to think, okay, one of the like you have to learn the triggers, but then when I started fixing, this was like it happened by accident. When I started being more healthy and fixing how I eat and working on fixing my gut, I realized 2 years later I haven't taken any ulcers medication. That's how I realized. So what the hell were they doing before? Why did I need medicine before? 2 years later, I haven't had an issue.
So how is gut health related to acid?
To acidity.
Yeah.
So let me explain. When I was doing research on losing weight, because I just didn't start, because when I was younger, I have been body shamed before. When I was younger, like I used to be body shamed a lot. So when I used to do a lot of this reading, any article in the newspaper, any article anywhere that talks about weight loss and I was on it, so, and I would try all these different things. They tell you, sijui work out, sijui how many times. What do they tell you? They tell you to work out. They tell you to cut things
Carbs.
like sugar,
And
carbs.
sugar,
They tell you, but then there's also like a lot of weird information out there. So I think when I was really, really serious about it, because I really did my research, it was entirely by accident. I stumbled upon someone on TikTok, and it was a Kenyan, and she was talking about, was it a Kenyan woman or a man? I can't remember. But she was talking about how she switched to 1 meal a day. And she realized you don't really need 3 meals in a day.
Is that the intermittent fasting? Is that
No,
what it is?
they call it OMAD, 1 meal a day. Intermittent fasting, I think, what is intermittent fasting? I think it's you fast like periodically. I think there's some people who do 24 hours and then like the next 24 hours is when you'll eat. So you have to go through a whole full cycle of 24 hours. I think it's almost the same thing, depending on how you're doing it. Because I think intermittent fasting, there are people who do it longer, shorter. But this is just like, I started with fast 1 meal a day. And that changed things for me. Like, first I lost what I had been eating for a long time that was unhealthy. Then also, I started asking myself, why are we eating 3 meals? Who tells us to eat 3 meals a day?
Tulizaliwa kwa society, watu hula
Like,
3 meals.
surely. And then also, why?
Yeah.
Because, trust me, if you eat 1 meal a day, you won't die. Unless you're when mtu wa mjengo, just eat those 3 meals. But when mtu wa mjengo, you sit every day, you're barely moving. Do you really need 3 meals a day? And I get where that 3 meals a day came from. Back then, there was a lot of hard labor, and a lot of energy comes from what you eat, what you consume. So maybe back then it made sense, but we are in a society, we have evolved, and most of what we are eating has either been affected with chemicals or sugar, which is also another chemical. 2, we have moved from the hard labor jobs to more of these white collar, blue collar jobs. So you're seated most of the time, you're not using as much energy as you used to. And then also, I feel like we have more options, but I wouldn't call them healthy options. So I think with all those things, they combined to kind of give me an informed decision. And I was like, okay, let me just try 1 meal a day and see what happens. And then also, like, the one thing when you have ulcers, they will tell you is you have to eat all the time.
Yeah, that's what they tell you.
Which is, I feel like was a myth. Like, I don't know what it was, but
Do you think
I felt so cheated.
With lies intentionally,
Yes.
so that we can keep coming back to medicine?
Let me. If they weren't feeding us with lies, why would TikTok ban skinny talk as a hashtag, but not ban anything that is related to gluttony? For
Even
years,
the mukbangs where
exactly.
people are eating disgusting food and lots of food and yeah.
Yeah.
So, wow, I never thought about it.
Like, like if you just look
why
at
has
what
it been
is
banned? Can you tell me a little bit? Can you tell us a little bit about
so
that story of why
skinny
it's banned?
talk?
Yeah, skinny talk. What is skinny talk?
Skinny talk It's a hashtag, but it's majorly, you've seen lately how most people are talking about being skinny online, losing weight and looking your
It's
best
like it's
self.
a fad right now.
Yeah, it's become like a thing right now. It's just how like these waves, there was a BBL wave that ended. Now we are on skinny. Now skinny is the new thing.
Yeah.
So, but I think the difference was this time, it was split into two. There were people who are talking about losing weight naturally, and then there are people who are talking about the things they've used to lose weight, but they're not natural. It's not natural. So in between there, of course, there's like a little bit of a mixture, but at the end of the day, the conversation is the same, how to be skinny. Now they have banned that hashtag, claiming that it is harmful and affecting people's mental health, allegedly.
But it's probably because the gluttony guys do not have their own hashtag.
But if you search mukbang, it will just all of you.
Mukbang.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Mukbang is the videos where there's a set of content creators who get a lot of food, different types of food.
Yeah.
And then they kind of do a haul, like they try out the food on camera. So it started off nice. Kitambo, it used to just be okay food, like an okay amount.
Yeah.
But they started realizing that the more extreme they went, the more views they got, and hence the more money they made. So they get gluttonous. Like someone can have cookie dough, milk, 2 full chickens,
Cake,
2 full chickens,
8 boiled eggs, noodles, gravy.
Like what the Chinese are doing. I've seen Chinese videos that look like that.
Yeah, but now they're being done by like all sorts of people.
Yeah.
Black people, white people, all sorts of people.
Yeah. And I would argue that has had like way more damaging effects
than skinny
talk.
Okay. So, before I say what I wanted to say, maybe tell me what are some of these ways that Zico in the limelight about how people are using to lose weight, because maybe that's what it's been taken as harmful, and that's why they're saying let's ban this skinny talk.
I don't know. I feel like it always has a hidden agenda because me, I'm a conspiracy theorist, so
let's have it.
I will tie it to the bigger conspiracy. First, you have to look at how the economy has been behaving. 1. 2, you have to, like, all these people who benefit from you being fat and healthy, eating more than you need, because eating also more than you need for your body comes with its own issues. If you're having indigestion, that's an issue. There's something you've done wrong. Indigestion just doesn't happen. So when you think about who's benefiting, big pharma, big food, everyone who's benefiting from this, then you're like, wait, hold on. And then it's also how quickly they banned the hashtag. Like we've seen mukbang for years. We've been seeing people being gluttonous for years. And people have been talking about skinny, but like when it was like a craze for the last few months, for like about 4 months, they banned the hashtag. That was so quick. Yet when it's other issues about Gaza, let me not go there. But
you can talk about Gaza. Gaza is
my whole point is skinny talk is just like banning the hashtag
intentionally.
Yeah, and it's also when you see how the economy is behaving, who's benefiting from people eating, and then when you think about when people stop eating, who's losing money?
It's affecting everyone.
It affects a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's why the conversation of you being healthy is never something that is usually pushed at the forefront.
I get it. So the end goal is nothing to do with people being healthy.
It's nothing to do with people being healthy. Because if you're healthy, then who's making money?
That makes a lot of sense. Are you following this train we're on, Jagero?
I've struggled with weight, yo.
How do you mean? Like on a personal level?
Yeah.
Tell me about
like it's been very bad for me. I've really struggled with food. In fact, these days it's very difficult for me to enjoy food because I'm just thinking, like, so when I had a problem with my feet, plantar fasciitis. Do you know what that is? Plantar fasciitis is like.
That sounds like a disease for a plant.
Plantar. It comes from the word plantar. Plantar is so if you are walking, you first of all do a heel strike, right? and then you lift with this. Right? So for some people, and me included, I suffered a tear. So there is a muscle that attaches this place and the fall. Yes, and that's what cushions you. That's why you're able to walk barefoot because of that thick muscle that is there. Because you remember there is a bone here, right?
Yeah.
And so you can't hit on a bone. So there is a muscle there, and then it connects this fall. So me, I had a problem with that, and mostly it affects people who are overweight, or people suffering from a lot of weight. Well, there are people who are overweight, but they still don't have it.
Yes.
But then there are people who are predisposed to having that problem if they go overweight.
Okay.
So I have had that problem like for 15 years. You know.
So how did it come about?
They say it is sometimes contact sports because I was playing football. Sometimes they just say that your foot just get fucked up, or if you've got a flat foot, you know, the flat foot thing. So that's why I don't actually wear official shoes. Have you realized that I don't wear complete...
Can you imagine? I imagine you even in a suit.
I used to look
with just these shoes. I don't
No,
imagine.
I look good in official.
Okay.
Even my wedding shoes, I wore them on my wedding day. I never wore them again.
I need a picture of this.
We were in a vehicle like that, but a Mercedes.
Ooh.
They look good.
Okay.
Really good. So, when I really, really suffered, I went to the hospital several times, just like you were suffering with acidity. And at some point, the doctors said that I should reduce my weight.
Were you overweight?
Yes, I was 90. I was 95 then, and even right now I'm still at 95. I went to 85, and then I started pandering slowly. Yeah. So I was going off carbs, I was going off sugars, I was going off a lot of things, you know. And I think that trying to cut your weight is very difficult, and I don't know how Shaka is managing it. Like this day, I eat very kidogo, like what we have just eaten there, and that's all for the afternoon. But then it keeps reoccurring, like the weight. I think the body just studies the way you're behaving and say, okay, give me this. Okay, I see what you're doing. And then it starts just, and then I think that I'm also a big-bodied person. And so that also contributes. And what I've realized with trying to manage your weight is that there is a lot of anxiety. When you want to eat, sometimes you just feel like, okay, I'm hungry, but I hate food because food makes me look like this, or food gives me pain, or food makes me look a certain way. And so sometimes I understand, I don't know at what point it becomes worse, where people are just going skinny, or something that we are going to also talk about, where people go for operations. You know, I was having a guest the other day that told me that off camera that I'd gone for this operation, but I don't want people to know. You know, so that is for me. And then I think a lot of women are also dealing with shame when their bodies, you know, bulge, and people start making comments about their bodies. Not so much about men.
You think so?
No, nobody has ever told me anything.
I think it's because women tend not to body shame.
Yeah.
Out loud.
Men body shame other men all the time.
Not
Yeah,
much,
that's true.
Not much.
But not usually.
Not the way
They do with women.
Like for example, a man will just come and touch your knee and tell you, life is good. Kabuda. But they don't. But I see women being told like you look bad. Yeah, like
you could be fat, but someone will call you ugly just because you're fat.
So that is what I think is different with the men, and I think even my wife did not have a problem with my body then. You know, she liked, you know, I hear some women say a little bit of tumbo, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But what I have realized, and I think Shaka is talking about it, is that when you start reducing weight, you feel really good. And for me, I did not know that I was actually lactose intolerant, right? That's the word. Lactose intolerant. I was really suffering with constipation. And then I realized that the reason why I'm very constipated is the milk and the carbs So something, and I had a eureka moment when I started traveling outside the country. I kept feeling really good when I'm out of the country, like really good. I wasn't taking. I was taking black coffee, and most of the time I was not taking carbs. And I used to feel really good myself.
You mean like even your mood?
Yeah, and my gut was really good. I go to the toilet, it is all right. But when I come back to Kenya, I'm like, what is going on with me? Suddenly I'm constipated.
What do you think the difference was?
The difference was the carbs. That I kept eating the ugali and the chapo. My body was just not good for. So I started staying off carbs, and my gut has been really feeling good. I don't get constipated anymore. I realized that there is milk called lactose-free milk, which I now take, which is very good. So now I just feel good. But now again, my body is bulging again. And I am struggling, like, what is going on? Do you just go back to, like, eating nothing? So I understand sometimes, is it, Shaka, why people just decide that it is the food and I don't want to eat it anymore?
Not really. Like, people have talked about this before as well. You know, also, like, being in this country, you're predisposed to be surrounded by a lot of food as Africans and as even as Kenyans.
Yeah.
Like, if I visit my parents, they eat 3 meals a day. So you're kind of like in that environment where they are shoving food towards you all the time. And then also like in such environments where if you don't eat, it looks like a bad sign.
Disrespect.
Like disrespect.
Culturally, yeah.
Culturally, like you're not eating. So I feel like there's that. One, there's two, you wake up in the morning, you get out. Watu wa smocha wameshamka, watu wa paswa wameshamka. All these things are already there. And then when I really think about it, you know, something was where I was having this conversation now 2 years ago with a friend, and I was saying, I feel like organic food is becoming more expensive than fast food in this country.
It is very expensive.
Think
to eat right.
It is damn expensive. Like whenever I go, even when we go shopping with you, and I go to that direction where they have the fridges and the
veggies
and the what are they called? The baby corn.
Yeah,
right.
Vegetables.
Yeah, and all those vegetables. You get just a few, and the bill is so up there, like 8,000.
Yeah,
and then they go bad also really fast.
Yes.
So you have to keep going to the supermarket to buy them. Because if you bring them, I think whatever they're bringing them from Nakuru, I don't know where.
Yeah.
They already stayed there, and then they come to the supermarket. I think they have a way of making them really fresh. The moment you get them out of the supermarket and you put them in your own fridge, and they just go bad.
It's true. I actually agree.
And yet in the supermarket, they just keep staying there, and I wonder.
It's so true. So, Shaka, you had these feelings about, feeling sickly and nini, and this is what prompted you to want to, change the way your body was. So what are some of the ways that you have used personally to make you reach where you're at right now?
Okay. I know the hardest one for Kenyans is cutting sugar. Because trust me, sugar is in everything nowadays. It's in ketchup. It's in everything. Your Blue Band, your jam, your whatever. And then when they lie to you, yesterday, like, it's not sugar related, but yesterday I realized just how much they lie to us. I took two spices, fish masala and chicken masala, same brand. And then I was like, wait, hold on. What's different between these two?
These masalas.
And I checked the ingredients for both. Exactly the same.
For real?
Just one has been branded fish masala.
The other one is chicken.
Chicken. I swear we can go to a supermarket and you can see for yourselves. I'm not joking.
And I saw
That's how much they lie to us.
on TikTok today of how somebody is turning a completely different drink and packaging as something else and adding the word plus. And it sells without changing any ingredients. And it is completely within law.
I felt so cheated. Because why the hell am I buying beef and fish masala?
Doesn't it smell the same thing?
It smells the same. I was like, wait, hold on.
Maybe it's
What's
a
the
psychological
difference?
trick where
It
when you
is.
see the name, you're like, it smells different.
Yeah.
But if you read the ingredients, they're the same thing.
Exactly the
There was
same.
a guy who was trending last week on, I can't remember where, but he was talking about how all his years of working in the tomato paste in making industry, he has never seen tomatoes in that factory.
Yeah.
But tomato paste is a scam. I would never buy tomato paste. Just buy real tomatoes and then blend them if you want like a paste or something. But
Yeah,
don't believe
I
half
can
the things
imagine
in the
even
supermarket.
the sausages. What is it called? Sausages.
Yeah, even
They now have
sausages.
carbs in sausages.
Yeah, they put wheat
the
in
whitish looking
sausages.
thing is actually carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw in the packet, I bought some chicken fingers thing, and I was like, the chicken was like 40%.
Yes.
I'm like, this is a chicken finger. What do you mean 40% is the...
Yeah, so
it had so much wheat and stuff.
Yeah, they have added wheat and everything else. So
Yeah, so when you pay attention to what exactly you're eating is when now you start seeing the discrepancies. So for sugar, for me, that one I did in 2020. I cut all sugar in 2020. It was a 90-day sugar-free fast. You do the first month where you only have one cheat day a week. The second month, you have one cheat day a fortnight. So that's 2 cheat days in the whole month. And then the third month, you don't have any cheat days. And you completely go off sugar. And that means, I went completely off. I didn't do anything with sugar. I did brown bread, and I made sure I checked the ingredients of the brand that it doesn't have sugar, because it's brown bread that has sugar. So you're not, if you're switching to like...
I hope that you are enjoying that episode, people of the internet. Everybody says there is no job. And that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their own town, in their own city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs. Mothers call uncles, uncles call fathers, but there are no jobs, right? Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them. I have worked for a long time online, I think more than 10 years. I work for Americans, I work for Europeans, I work for the Chinese, the Australian, Canadians, the Ugandans, name all of them. And last year, I had a eureka moment. I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I have been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a book called Gold Mine, 18 Side Hustles for Africans. And it sold a lot of copies. In fact, sometimes I was receiving 500 orders in a day. In 2025, something happened. AI came. I think in 2025, AI came. AI came in 2024, but in 2025, it is here with us. And people say AI is taking away their jobs. And for me, I'll say false. There are actually AI jobs. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. We now have in my book 25 online and offline side hustles that you can do anywhere in the world, whether you are in the village, whether you are in your small town, whether you're in a marketplace, whether you are in your house, you can do them. In this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance, drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I have made and lessons I have learned over 15 years in this online job market. You can become an executive assistant to busy folks in Europe, America, and Canada. You can also get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. There are many of them, and they're in my book. You can also build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce without a shilling. You can also become an affiliate marketer or an online English tutor. And you can also do tens of AI jobs, and they're all in these books. If you have a job, that is fine, but I know around you there are so many people that are always looking for jobs and at home watching Netflix. Buy this book for your brother, for your sister, for your mother, cousin, husband, who is back at home all day, all night watching Netflix. Okay? Buy it for your friend, that friend who is always asking you for cash, you can buy this book for them. All the information is in the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or you can go to my website, which is oduorjagero.co.ke. The book is only 1,000 Kenya shillings. Or if you're anywhere around the world, the book is $10. So thank you very much. Back to programming. I mean, added,
Brown.
because we are also told that carbs is actually sugar.
Yeah, carbs is actually sugar, but now added
So
sugar.
the added one, yeah.
Yeah. So I switched to brown bread, made sure it was the one without sugar.
And even the brown bread is very expensive.
It's
When
also
you are
expensive.
There's
Yeah.
one called, I don't know what, at Prestige. You know, the other one, Yaya Center.
Yeah.
They sell bread for 450.
Yeah.
The 400 gram.
No, smaller. Smaller, much smaller, a quarter of it.
Kwani, what is it? It's whole wheat or what is it?
I mean, they could argue that they put fresh organic, use only organic ingredients.
And what
They
do you
could
think
argue.
about that? Do you think that's a scam? Because I was shopping here, Juicy, and there's a section for gluten-free, what free. I've never taken time to check the ingredients, but do you think it's actually justifiable that, you know, it's more... The pasta I buy is normally 300, 400 bob. That one I saw there, it was 700 bob for the same. So I'm wondering, what's the difference? Do you think it's viable?
Like lactose-free milk is very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This for me, this is what I think. I think there are markets where the Food and Drug Administration, for lack of a better word, because that's what it's used in America, right? Is very careful with, you cannot label things and it is a lie to the people. So you can imagine trying to sell gluten-free to somebody who is what is the word when it hurts you? You are
Like susceptible.
Yeah, what is the word? You are allergic, yeah. You can imagine selling somebody that's allergic to something.
Yeah.
So there
Can
are
cause death.
Yeah, there are markets like the European Union that they are very strict on those things. You can't just slap a label and it is not the same. And that is why you see even America is very pissed off right now with EU, because most of their foods do not pass that test in the EU. And that's why Trump was saying, Trump was saying that they don't accept our food. You remember? Because like even the fish is not fresh.
Yes.
The chicken, I don't know what they have done to it.
Frozen.
They have high cases of salmonella.
Yeah.
You
know, so but I feel like in some markets like Kenya, like does Kenya really have the capability of looking at something and saying and determining that it's gluten free?
I have no faith in
Well, I don't have faith in kebs, one.
Yeah.
Because history, I mean, it's been on the news before, and like you can't even say that I'm
they
lying.
sell us maize from Suji where
You people-
they are so okay with people dying from food, so I don't think there's a
Like,
seriousness.
what I would tell people is I switched to the mentality of if you can't grow it in this country, think twice before you eat it.
Okay.
Yeah, because like if you just think about when I think about like our ancestors, just even our grandmothers and grandfathers, not even to go far back. When you think, does your grandfather eat? Your grandmother? Those people are very healthy. Yeah, straight from the shamba.
The issue of tomatoes that you're talking about, that thing is very interesting to me because we used to grow a lot of tomatoes in the village, and that thing can never be fresh. Like it has to have holes of worms and whatever. But these days I go to the supermarket, that thing is squeaky clean, man. I mean, what have they done to all the worms?
The preservatives.
They
And
have
then
used
I went to a
many
farm
chemicals.
in Kitui. Man, the farm was smelling. The whole, I don't know, 300-acre farm was smelling like you couldn't even breathe. And then I asked, what is going on? What is rotting in this entire village? And they told me, no, that is chemical from the farm, from the tomato farm. Like those guys have got huge showers, like sprinklers. What they do is that they mix the medicine in water, and so as they water the plants, they are also
fertilizing.
They are also fertilizing and also doing the chemical that
Weeding.
kills the chemicals
Killing
that kill the pesticides and whatever. So you are in an environment whereby this tomato is just growing in chemical.
That's why they are fat and juicy
They
like
are
that.
fat,
Yeah.
they're juicy, and they have no problem at
No
all.
nutrients.
Even when you really do your research, you'll find out how many things have just been modified scientifically to look how they look, to see. The watermelons we have right now have been scientifically modified to have added sugar.
Added
Those
sugar.
equal sweet.
They're not
though.
supposed to be that sweet.
Sugar from the ground. That's bonkers, right?
No, they use some chemicals and in that whole GMO process, and they can modify how some fruits turn out.
Even
some
there's some mangoes that are just too sweet. Like
Yeah.
you can't eat it.
Yeah, it's too much. That's crazy.
It is so sugary and sugar like watermelon. Me, I don't enjoy that thing anymore.
yeah.
Guys, I'd like for us to talk about, some of the ways that right now methods people are using to lose weight.
Yeah.
Either really, really fast or, you've told us. Have you finished telling us all the methods you used, like cutting out sugar?
No,
What
I
else
cut
are
out
you
sugar and then
Did you go for Ozempic?
no, I can't even afford it, honestly.
How expensive it is?
I hear like a shot is like about 30,000.
doing? One shot?
One shot,
And
and you're
how many
supposed to
shots?
take, I think, a shot every week for about, is it 8 weeks?
Okay, so
Something
what
like that.
what I've learned about Ozempic
Yeah.
is that, okay, kuna hiyo, ukianza kutumia, first of all, you can't stop because the weight will
They will
just
come back
all
and
right back.
double.
really?
Yeah.
And it comes more
Yeah.
than.
So once you start, you have to keep going. And this thing, you see, Ozempic is
No,
not
they said unamumunya
manufactured.
once, bwana. They said unamumunya once.
Hakuna ya mumunya
not-
once.
This thing is not
Hakuna mumunya once. This is strepsils.
Walisema unamumunya. What? They lied.
You see, Ozempic is a drug that has not been created for the purpose of losing weight. It is for diabetes. Its uses are very different. Sometimes a doctor can prescribe it for the use of losing weight, but in isolated situations.
Yeah.
So right now, the people have figured out that this is a quick way to drop all the weight. So guys have started abusing. They're going and getting these shots, and it's helping them lose all the weight. Actually, you're dropping the weight really, really fast. But nobody is checking, of course, for the after effects, for the consequences of using Ozempic. Just like now you guys are finding out, like you're finding out. Once you start using, you can't stop. You have to keep on using it. Otherwise, all the weight that you've lost just comes right back.
But how then can you afford it in
Exactly. I feel like it's a liability health-wise and financially, because why would I want to be on a drug for the rest of my life just because of the weight? But maybe someone would say, I'm speaking from privilege because I'm not fat or because I don't have the problems of a fat
and you
person.
eat a lot?
But
I mean,
That's why that's the difficult thing about bodies. Like some people just burn it. Like their metabolism is just good.
No.
But let me tell you, I do put in the work to make sure my body looks the way it looks. I mean, genetically, I come from a skinny family.
Is that so?
Yeah, my parents added weight after Waomoke. When they reached their 40s, that's when they started the kitambis and all that. But my family watu ni wa konda. But then again, I have the ability to add weight. Sometimes, have you seen the comments, people saying, Bobbie ameanza kupata pesa, mashavu zimeanza kutokea. People have been commenting. So I guess there's a difference of how I look now and how I looked last year, maybe. I do have the capability to gain weight, but I actively make sure that sipitishi, like miukarada. Nikiona nguazi nitoshi, naanzanga kona something. And some of the things I do personally is I run. I used to run thrice a week. Now I run once, but I run. I do yoga.
Run.
I do yoga as well.
What do you mean you wish you could
I
run?
miss
He
it.
can't because of his leg.
Oh.
My the other day we walked 13 kilometers.
Where to?
We were in town. Town you can walk for 13 kilometers. I didn't know.
By the way,
So we parked on Kijabe Street
Yes.
and went all the way to the other side of Mudhurwa,
Yeah.
Pale where they take the buses to Kisumu Enacott.
Wait, first, what were you doing in town?
We were going to look for things for the bathroom for our house in the village.
Oh,
Okay. And then we walked, and I looked at my watch. It was 13 kilometers. When I woke up in the morning, the following day, I was feeling my feet again, and I regretted so badly. I had a very bad day. my guy had to go back to town by himself to send those things to the village. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying I really miss playing football.
Yeah.
And I really miss running. The only thing that I'm remaining with right now is swimming.
What could fix your foot? Surgery?
I went for surgery.
And
I already went for surgery. Yeah, I went for surgery on both legs. And now the idea is that you do not want to fuck it up again.
yes.
So and that is what the doctor told me, that now you need to watch your weight. You need not to put a lot of weight on the foot. Even this my idea of jumping free from what I used to love jumping from that thing for swimming pool. You know that one?
The diving board.
Yeah. These days, waliniambia. Even walking barefoot around the pool area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to maintain your food other than like the food insecurity, the fears you have around food?
Yeah.
What are you actively doing to make sure that you're maintaining?
Gymming, but the upper body. It's very difficult to gym with your upper body.
I think it's easier.
No.
A lot of people skip leg day.
Leg.
Yeah.
But they still. You see, the problem with your leg is that when it's not hurting, you don't feel anything. But when you are hurting any small thing, like for example, if you're going to pick up weight, it's actually your feet that is helping you walk with that weight.
So you have to be seated.
You have to be seated, sometimes on your back. Anything that you try to, even when you are standing up, you are always standing up.
You have to be careful.
Yeah, but then there are so many things in our bodies that we do not realize are holding any weight.
Until
like for example, have you ever had a back pain?
Okay, during my period, don't
not that one. Like
a physical injury.
Like a physical injury. You can't even lean on a chair.
Yeah.
Like just leaning on a chair, you can't.
You can't even sit up.
You cannot.
Oh my goodness.
So most of even your leg, when it is sprained, have you sprained your neck? You look like this.
You've never slept badly and then you can't.
You start saying, God, please restore my
Who did I offend?
My neck. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's, and then you can have sex.
Hiyo ndo important. Mimi nikikuwa taken out the game.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I don't even have.
But even if you have a back pain as a woman, you can't have sex. Because sometimes it is the man who is trying to do it. No, it rocks you up.
It is painful.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I imagine that some people, and I don't know how women, because the Ozempic is the women that are mostly taking it.
Oh yes.
Is it,
I think it is being pushed solely to the women because it's easier to check out who's having the most insecurities about their body, and then it's being sold to women. I've seen adverts on TikTok purposely like niaje mami tuko na hiyo Ozempic hapa ukuje nini and I'm like, how are they selling this just over the counter? That's crazy.
I think, and everything is like new and it takes long to by the time Kebs releases a statement of stop taking Ozempic, have they done that yet?
But I think
I don't think they have.
Smuggle it into the country.
They take a while.
Don't they smuggle it into the country?
Okay, not really, because already
you can sell Ozempic like you would sell weed.
Already it's legally supposed to be for diabetes.
Yeah,
so it's not
sold.
illegal.
Yeah.
It's not an illegal drug.
You can go right now and buy it at the chemist.
It's a verified drug. It's okay. It's just the difference is people who don't have diabetes are using it to lose weight. But when you think about it, there have been these waves of different things. I think 10, 15 years ago, if you went to CBD, there were people selling these slim drugs, slim tea, like it's just
laxatives za kuhara. Una hara wikibili unakona.
Yeah, like my wife put it there and I was like, bullshit. This is total bullshit. This is not backed up by science at all.
It's
what
not.
Is it? What is it? This thing that
It's
is
laxative.
It's not.
What is it?
Dawa ya kukuharisha. So
laxative.
unahara mpaka una dedi
The one that you're given when you're having constipation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they keep giving it to you although
They change the branding. They tell you'll become slim
They call it slim tea.
Slim tea.
So you drink it as a tea. But it's a laxative.
Wewe ulihara?
Mimi mbona nitumie?
But it's a thing. Like, it's a thing. So there's been that. There's been what?
Gastric bypass.
Oh yeah, there's the balloon thing.
Yes.
There's an influencer who did that.
Okay, let me mention them.
Okay.
So kuna Ozempic. Ni hiyo ya hiyo drug tunasema ya diabetes. Yenye ni injection, I think unadungwa lakini you have to keep going. Haya, alafu kuna hii ingine yenye sahi watu wanafanya sana gastric bypass, the gastric sleeve. So this is gastric inakwanga tumbo, ni tumbo. So what they do is they go and nyonga your stomach. They do
is it the one they put the balloon, or is that a different one?
No,
I think it's that. Yes, that's what it is. Either they put
there is the gastric and then there is the balloon thing.
Oh, that's
so
different.
the gastric, I think the gastric is where they cut. There is kuna mfuko.
Yes, they cut the tummy.
And then they make it smaller so that you eat kidogo and you're full. But then I think the balloon now goes and presses it so that it sounds smaller. So if you try eating a lot, then it bulges toward the balloon and you feel uncomfortable. And then you stop eating.
Yeah.
But then I think I hear that some also burst inside there, or you become so uncomfortable that they have to go and remove it.
Yeah. And then there's the liposuction.
Oh,
the liposuction is the one where they suck all the fat from your body, whether it's your arms, your tummy, your gongo, your thighs. They suck out all the. Okay, all these methods, according to me, they're not permanent solutions.
They're not.
They're things that you will have to fight with for the rest of your life. Like, there's consequences that you'll have to face every time. So maybe you guys can tell me your thoughts. How do you feel about these methods of losing weight?
I think when you look at the picture here of, first of all, are you going to be able to afford doing that? It might work for you, you know, like, and you do what you want with your money. It might work for you, but when you think about it, are you always going to afford it? Because life happens. Tomorrow, if shit happens and you can't afford it, you will gain that weight back ×2 or even more.
Kuna wengine wamefanya na weight haija change.
By the way, it can also backfire, because also, again, you're putting chemicals in your body that you don't actually need. They're not solving a problem. I feel like, to be very honest, I have tried different methods of losing weight, and I'm talking from as young as I was like 10.
At 10, you were thinking about
because
losing
I've
weight?
been body shamed for a very long time. So yeah, at 10 I was thinking of losing weight. I was reading articles in the newspaper that say you can lose weight by this. So let me just be honest with you, don't be lazy. The problem you want to fix, like, it just starts with your gut, it starts with your diet. And it's hard. I get it. Like, it's hard. It's hard to stop eating mandazis when they're mandazis.
When they're hot.
You know? It is hard when you're in a family where almost every month there's a birthday, so there's cake available. It is hard.
And I think that losing weight is perhaps easier for people who live alone.
Losing weight?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, when you're with your family?
It could be actually, because I only shop for me.
Yeah, like for me, when I was starting, it was really tough.
Yeah.
Because when the throes of hunger kicks in, like your body wants something. And I go to the kitchen and my wife has bought those big, coconut pancake, what are they called? Cakes. Those ones I buy for my baby.
Yeah.
And then you find whatever ugali is there, what is there?
Soda.
Yeah.
Sodas,
Yeah.
juices, they're all there. But you see now, I think the good thing about weight and when you are alone, or if you, like for example, right now, I have my own diet in my house. Different from the rest of the guys. Because nobody wants to eat avocado and eggs in the morning. They want to eat bread, cereals and all those things. So you cannot serve eggs and avocado to Maya. She will not eat it.
Yeah.
And even during, so most of the time you do not have things that will mess up with you in your immediate surrounding. There are no craze, there are no mandazis. So kama kuna we unalala na maji.
Very true.
But when you are living with the people, mtu anatoka supermarket, my wife amejaza hizo vitu, my friend. Then I come from the studio, I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
I'm like, just a little. Then you realize that just a cupcake is like 12 spoons of sugar.
Yeah.
And you don't.
And if you have a very low metabolism, that fucks you up.
My metabolism is really, really low. So it messes me up. So I agree with Shaka, is that I think one of the most difficult things is to fight with your body.
Yeah.
And your hunger issues, and I can imagine how worse it could be for ladies, for example, when they're ovulating, when they need sugar, when they need all these things in their life. You know? As a man, I struggle so much. You know, the other day I gave Signolo my chapatis and my chips. So we were served lunch there, and this lady comes back and says, Jagero, you didn't like it?
Hakujua.
Yeah. I said, no, I've eaten enough. But I just took one piece of mandazi, of chapati, and I left the entire, and chips, I took like 4 pieces of chips.
Actually, that's a lot of restraint for a Kenyan. You eat only one chapati.
Yeah.
When the mode of operandi is 2 minimum.
It is one chapati that they cut into 5.
Yeah.
So I ate one piece.
Yeah.
And she came back and was telling me that you didn't like the chapati, I see. The chips, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm not like feeling full, but I just have to stop. Because if you don't stop, like for example, the doctor was here, Dr. Katambo was telling us of how he was living in a country that was 80% diabetic. And it is one of
because of diet.
Because of diet, it was one of the richest countries. It is in South America. I've forgotten the name, and they have all the medicine, all the hospitals, everything is working. There is no pothole. Everybody is taken care of by it is 60,000 people, the whole country. Is it 60 or 600? I forget, but it was really small, and he was telling me that it is a pandemic, diabetic pandemic, and it's just because of the food.
And
everybody can afford it, everybody can get it.
Yeah.
You know, and food is very addictive.
It is.
It's extremely addictive, and it is so demanding. Hey, you kid, what a sex scandal, my friend. Food.
Yeah.
But it's not even really food that's addictive. It's the sugar they put in it.
Yeah, of course. But now for us,
the sugar is addictive.
Like Dr. Kramer was saying, have you ever had somebody saying that I'm craving
sugar?
I'm craving spinach.
Oh yeah,
don't
true.
crave spinach.
Yeah, people don't crave.
They don't crave avocado.
Yeah.
They don't crave carrots.
Yeah.
All you crave.
So when we're talking about food, that's what we mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it is sugar. Because what Dr. Katambo says is that he's got a very big clinic here in Nairobi. And he has got a very big book. I don't know whether the book is here. It's called The Book of Sugar. I think it's very interesting. You should have a look at it.
Yeah.
He has broken down every Kenyan meal in terms of sugar. Like a normal person is supposed to have, how many spoons of sugar a day, Maria? It was like 6, right? A normal person should have about 6.
I know children are supposed to have a maximum of 5 grams.
Yes. So
5 grams ni kidogo.
And 5 grams is like is very little compared to how much they just put in cereal alone.
And then he was saying that a normal Kenyan takes about 60 per day.
Kunywe chai.
Yeah,
That's probably even 10 times more than like.
Yeah, just look at juice. Juice has 8 spoons. What else is there? Mandazi. Look at mandazi. 19 spoons. One mandazi only is 8. Then he was telling me that there are others that have got 0. Look at that. Spinach, 0.
So yeah.
You can't crave it.
Oh my goodness. So for you to be on top of your health, do you think it's really necessary for you to like know all these things that are contained in the meal that you're eating? Oh, I see even smokies in here. And sausages.
Yeah. For me, I just think that you have to be very careful, because sometimes when we are young, these things, they just catch up with us.
Yeah.
When you've packed your body with sugar, now you're approaching 40, 50. That's when it comes all,
Yeah. Actually, that's what scared me, because
Yeah.
there was a time I went to the hospital and they told me I was insulin resistant, and then they told me I was pre-diabetic. And I was like,
Pre-diabetic.
you cannot be telling me this when I'm not even 25 yet.
Yeah, imagine. But now Katambo is saying that most of his patients is between 20 and 40.
Yo, look at this. This is a pomegranate, and saying it has, 291 grams has 90 spoons of sugar.
90 spoons.
9
Yeah.
teaspoons of sugar.
Those are
And
fruits.
this is so crazy. These are fruits. When my mom was under treatment after cancer, even she was warned against fruit intake as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, she was told even too much fruits is
Yeah.
a problem.
That whole apple a day thing was a myth.
Yeah, and it was Dr. Katambo was also talking about this brown ugali stew, brown wort.
Yeah.
It is sugar. It only takes a
Yo.
while. It only takes a while. Like, the body does not grab it immediately. But at the end of the day,
You're eating more sugar than even the white
you are
person.
eating the sugar.
That's so crazy.
And these people who think they're taking alcohol has a lot of sugar as well.
Si ndo maana wako na vitambi.
Aki, let's not
Can you
even go there,
imagine somebody
because it is so annoying.
Yes, in the night.
Yo!
Even 80s, people take crates.
Ay, come on.
I'm not joking. There are
Yeah,
people who
in one
finish
sitting.
crates.
Yes.
Yeah.
But where do they go?
I don't even know.
No wonder they pee all the time, right?
Yeah. All over our Nairobi here.
Man.
Kila mali kunanuka Paris.
Nanuka Paris. They say Paris is
kuna
becoming
nuka
very
mkono.
dirty, yeah?
It smells like susu everywhere.
In Paris.
Yeah. Even New York.
Even that alcohol. There's an episode I watched on the DOSC, and there was a neurologist, and he was saying even one shot of alcohol is damaging.
It is. Alcohol is actually very, very harmful. Okay, I'd like to hear your opinion, Jagero, on these methods of losing weight. These fast-tracked methods of losing weight, like the lipo and the
For me,
gastric
I am
sleeve.
always I'm very careful about the things that actually interfere with the way biology works. And I think that everything that has happened to us, we have caused it one way or the other.
Yeah.
There is a responsibility. We were at a crossroad and we took a tangent and started misbehaving. Like, we are always, when we have the money, we want to do this. The other day I was taken by a guest in the studio, here in the studio, to go and take supper. And when you get there, they start you with a dessert, chicken wings. They give you that, and then the main meal comes. Then there is the coffee, and then there is the dessert where you're going to choose a cake, and then we go somewhere. So you just realize that there is so much food to eat. And this guy was telling me, Jagero, you don't eat much. You don't like it? And that question really bothers me when people always say that I don't like what they have put before me because I'm just touching it and leaving it. But I think that you going into a party and starting eating everything, and then the day after tomorrow, and then the weekend, and then Monday you're at it again. Like you take 4 pieces of bread in the morning with white milk and teaspoon and 4 of them, and then you go to the office at 10. There is mandazi and chai. Right? Yes. Then at lunchtime uko kwa mama uliech ugali na what? Na hiyo samaki ya Nairobi ya pool ya swimming pool. Then
Iko na bones mingi.
Yeah. Alafu ni black. Hata ikai fish. Fraudsters everywhere. Then at 4 kuna kachai kwa ofisi. Right? Then in the evening the huyo house manager amepika ugali kubwa na nyama ama mchele
Na avocado.
Alafu ndio hiyo whiskey. Imagine the entire day what you have eaten, and then you go sleep. You wake up feeling bad, belching, unaenda unahara kidogo ama you are constipated by the way and you don't even go to the toilet, you start the day again the same way
Eating
as yesterday.
the same thing, yeah.
And then again and again and again and again. And then now after doing all that for 40 years, then you are going to have your kamfuko ya tumbo to be reduced. I mean, yeah, it is a very good shortcut, but for me, I do not believe that cutting up somebody to fix something that they have put upon themselves is going to save them, because there are women that I used to look at, and there is a way when you do something strange to your body, it starts to show.
How kind now not natural?
Yeah, there is a woman that was in one of these radio stations that used to look really good. But nowadays I see on social media.
Is it the one I'm thinking about?
Yeah. and there is just something wrong. Even the face has fallen. You know, things are not adding up. You know, when you reduce weight like Shaka has reduced weight naturally, you see that the body is coming down. Like everything is all working together.
Energy position.
Yeah. But when you go cut, sasa kwingine
but it's true.
Yeah, and I think they are serious, and sometimes I think sometimes it backfires. And medical stuff, when it backfires, you start rotting from the inside.
There was this story that was trending, I think last year, December, November. This lady who died in a hospital, I don't know if I can say the hospital's name, but she was getting izo surgeries.
Yeah, you can say it. You can say it.
I won't get sued.
Why? It has been proven. They've been closed so many times.
You don't have to say
You're not. That is not slander nor defamation.
So allegedly,
it is not even alleged anymore.
This place called Body by Design, and this lady who was perfectly healthy, very well, walked in because there's influencers who are promoting the stuff. They're talking about, you see my sexy body, wanapiga ma video hapo na ndo mwanaume akutake, unafaa ukuwe na tumbo flat na matako kubwa, and there they show us, you know, hata mimi nilienda nikadungwa zile za matako, nikafanywa tumbo, nikafanywa nini. My personal opinion is, first of all, I don't think any influencer should be promoting anything medical.
Fact.
I don't think any person without a medical background, has never stepped into a school about medicine, about anything, or anybody who's just an influencer should be out there. If I see an influencer promoting something, immediately red flag, because you have to realize. Do you remember
they were even calling a clinical officer a gynecologist on social media? And that person went and did an operation of some woman and she died. Yeah, very, very.
These people.
I did that video. I've not released it.
So this is the other lady I was talking about also died. So this is crazy. I think that you have to realize that these people are being paid on social media. By the time you're seeing me talking about something on social media, and this cuts across everyone, even here on Dialogues with Jagero. By the time we're talking about something, before you decide this is what I want to do, think about Jagero has been paid to talk about that. Roberta has been paid to wear that.
Yeah.
There are chances. Let's just be honest, yeah? So make an informed decision. These influencers are out here promoting hospitals. Unamwona sijui hospitali gani ati this is the best hospital to give birth. When the kawaida mwananchi goes, they're not being given the same treatment.
Exactly.
You have to realize that famous person didn't even pay for the services. Someone reached out to them from that hospital and said, hey, come and vlog. We will give you the presidential suite. We will give you this nice hospital, or you'll pay half. We'll give you a nice discount. So imagine seeing someone promoting Ozempic, someone who's not used it for years. They just started using it last month. Now all of a sudden they're on TikTok they've lost weight and they're telling you this is what you should do. These people are out here in front of the cameras telling you, hey, I went and got this surgery. You should do it as well. I also don't think that this sudden need for losing weight is coming from a personal level. I think it's coming from the shame, the embarrassment, so coming from society basically. So like Jagza said, if it's not coming from you, it's just a shortcut. It's not really going
Sure.
to help you. It's just a band-aid. Because what happens when you haven't changed your habits and you still want to keep eating the way you are eating and you've already gotten the surgery?
Yeah.
What happens then? I have to be cautious around such topics because I know someone will look at me and say, Bobbie, you're not fat. You don't know what we've been through. You don't know how hard it is to lose weight. But I think I know a little bit about discipline and about, sticking the course to eventually getting what I want. Doesn't have to just be in weight. I have other things going on in my life that I can apply the same lessons.
I don't know if I can add something. Do you think that people who are struggling with weight should see a counselor or a therapist to guide them?
Yeah.
I mean, is it a combined effort between a nutritionist and a therapist? Because I feel like sometimes you are addicted to something, and the addiction needs to be. Somebody professional has to figure out how to go about your addiction. Because I feel like sometimes there is a time I was going through the weight gain and the weight loss, and my wife could pick out that I was very moody. I was easy to anger, very irritable, and
sensitive.
Yeah, and you're getting pissed off with people who are around you who are not bothered about losing weight. Do you think that it is something that people should do, like try get help if the addiction is too much? The addiction to food, actually.
Yes.
In an ideal world, yes. Especially I think I was lucky in a way because I have the opposite of stress eating. There are people who stress eat, and maybe that's your problem. Maybe it's because you're using food as a coping mechanism. And that's the issue here is not you're eating too much. The issue here is you're using food as a coping mechanism. And you should solve why you're using this as a coping mechanism. Look for more healthier alternatives and you will stop stress eating. And that could also be related to your weight. That's a thing. I was a stress starver. I think that's how I got ulcers. When I'm stressed, I don't even have even one thought of food. But I can understand how hard it is for someone who has the opposite to be a stress eater. The minute you're stressed, you're just thinking food. And then food is so accessible.
All 50 bob, you'll get something
Yeah.
outside.
Yes. So ukitoka tu nje, like utapata tu kuna mtu anauza something food related. So I think there are issues that are there may be bigger issues underneath the surface for some people. I don't think it's for everyone, but I think you should also, I don't know how, I would want a medical expert to probably give the best advice here, because I don't know who you should see first. Do you see a nutritionist first? Do you see a counselor first?
I think you see a nutritionist first, and then the nutritionist figures out. But I think you can. I think both professionals is able to lead you to the other.
There should be a way both of them should work together. But in this world we live in, you'll be charged to see them separately.
Yeah, everyone is looking for money. That's why it's so hard.
But there are two different professionals.
No, I mean right now we're in a situation where even the need for money is bigger than the need to actually help this person.
Yeah.
So even when they're thinking of kuku, before wakusaidie watafikiria venye watakutoanisha, how can I keep Shaka from coming to my office consistently, rather than how can I help her faster?
Yeah, but I also feel like sometimes you should need to say no to people. Like, for example, the other day I went to the hospital. I knew my wife had come from Tanzania with this bad homa, and I just knew it was homa. So I went to the hospital. I just wanted antihistamine, right? And that throat thing where you spray behind your throat and for the inflammation. That's all I needed from the hospital. Lakini wakasema sasa let's go pima blood. Nikasema hapana, blood gani bana? If the situation worsens, I will be back. But for now, just give me antihistamine and the spray. That's all. So I think sometimes also we can just look at Shaka and say, Shaka nataka kuniuzia vitu mingi. Sasa kwa nini tuende this thing for 3 days?
But with this boom in Ozempic and these fast-tracked methods, I'm realizing that a lot of people are actually ignorant, and that's why it's easy for your business to thrive
so easy
through lies. Yeah. I don't know if we've exhausted
we
this
have.
conversation.
1 hour, 20 minutes.
But I hope I walk out of this conversation.
But we have not. You have not.
Yeah,
delivered-
I'll talk about it.
You've talked
just
about it.
now.
As
Or
the
should I
camera-
talk about it now?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
The camera has been on it the whole time. That's a lot of.
Okay. So today when I was just chilling,
Yeah.
enjoying my mash, but not mine. I nilipata Jagero nakula mash na steak. T-bone steak.
Hey.
As I was
And I'm feeling really hungry, and that is my meal for the day. I'm feeling really hungry already. And then now I have to. If I go eat something, I'm already going against what I should be doing. That's how tough it is. But
and
anyway,
I ate half the plate. He didn't even eat it.
she really did have the plate.
So
Chamanroon.
I received this beautiful package from Chamanroon, and I noticed the packaging immediately. Even before.
That's what I talked about last
Yeah,
time.
it's
Yeah.
so cute. No man has ever given me such.
Men, take notes.
No. I mean, this is. Let's talk about Chamanroon. We have to go back to men, surely.
Okay, guys, just look. Ni wapi wana packaging kama hii Kenya?
The
It's a
packaging.
very so I got
The packaging is.
I'll show you what I got in a
it's
bit, but
really beautiful.
this Chamanroon gift was from Shaka. So Shaka, tell us a bit more about what Chamanroon is. Ulitoa wapi jina na ilianza aje?
Chamanroon is a jewelry store right now. We do handcrafted jewelry, custom as well. So, of course, it's going to be something not everyone has.
First, tell us about this one because I really love it. This is not Kowalski.
Yeah, it's not Kowalski. We named his other piece Kowalski.
So it will be called Kowalski.
She told me this is a real daisy, actually.
Yeah. It's a real
flower.
Real frozen daisy. It's a real flower that has been frozen.
Who?
Yeah.
How pretty is this?
How do you put?
Imagine the
Can you put it?
thoughtfulness.
Can you put it on for her so that we can see how it looks?
Yes, please.
Yes, let me
Because I was thinking that she was gonna put it on for the rest of the podcast, but then story.
And wait for the other.
Story wait.
Imeshika.
Hata story yangu ya kwenda
You're
kule.
supposed to hold the hair for me. Like in the movies. See that you can do this. You can receive jewelry.
You should hold the hair.
Yeah, I mean, how else are men going to put this on you?
Men are supposed to be putting it.
Yeah. Men don't even give women
You
jewelry
buy it.
these days.
Then you put it on her.
They ask us, what do you bring to the table?
Oh, it looks amazing.
This is so cute. Thank you.
Oh,
I
it
love
looks
it. I love it. And there was something else again.
There was.
Yeah.
How come you have some too?
Are you
Jagero,
jealous?
are you jealous?
And it says good
I am
luck.
a jealous
Let
man.
me tell you something.
I'm
I
a
wanted to
jealous
share
man.
when we're recording.
Yeah.
So I usually put entries in my journal, and sometimes when I'm looking for synchronicities, I just assign
What is
a color.
synchronicities?
Like to notice things in the universe are aligning.
Yeah.
Like to notice things are happening like for the good. We go through life without noticing. You just wake up and think it's by chance that you made it here.
True.
But there's things that have happened in play, like there was no traffic. Hakuna mkora alikupigana
Jana,
mafi.
can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? I sent 5,000 to somebody that I did not mean to send money to, and he took it and he did not return it.
You're supposed to report
Where?
at the police station.
Hey, and you get the money back.
No, just report.
But anyway.
Whatever happens, happens.
So I was supposed to send it to the fundi, and then the guy did not return it. And
Pali amekaa alikuwa na furaha.
Mbaya
when I was
sana.
when the guy sent me a message, the guy that I was supposed to send money to, because I sent him again, he told me that I was just thinking about, because you're supposed to send me 150,000 when I reach Kisumu. If you had not sent the 5,000, then you would have made a mistake on the 150.
Yeah. Yeah.
So synchronicity.
Everything happens.
Yeah.
So in my journal, I had written down, a number that I'll be looking out for to see. Just it's something I do. Maybe I should explain it on Love and Orgasms.
Is it
Go
like
and listen
angel
there.
numbers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or so, and I had also written a color.
Ooh.
I said the more I see this color, the
Yeah.
more I see things are working in the way I'm expecting them. And then guess what happens? The exact color that I wrote in my dream.
Hey, that's
Oh,
witchcraft.
really?
I send you a picture. Of
Really?
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
That's witchcraft.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
I'm a spiritual person.
And this is not
People
the
don't
only.
go to church now.
This is not the only.
calling themselves spiritual people.
This is not the only
Pagans.
green thing. Of course, I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen crazy things. Even last
but-
week, I saw a bug.
Yeah.
This same color in my green. When was the last time you saw a bug this? Like, it's crazy. It's just crazy. So
You know, I always
timely.
feel like, why is it that men cannot wear such wonderful looking pieces?
men can. They just don't want to because they're scared about what other men will
You
say.
want to wear a pretty thing like
because
that?
men
I
are.
really love them. I really even female jewelry. I really like
Can you
them.
please
Yeah.
help me with this?
Of course.
Of course. It's really pretty. So, guys, please patronize our girl, Charmin June. Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at Chamendrun on Instagram, on TikTok, and on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, guys, we are just about to hit the 100 mark.
Yes.
On
100,000.
100,000 mark
Subscribers
on YouTube, and it's all because of you guys watching us religiously, loving us, commenting, giving us your feedback, telling us how you feel, and we love to see the feedback. So please share this podcast. Mmeona tunaongea vitu za maana zenye zina make sense, zenye zinasaidia. Sinyata mmeona. So please keep showing us the love. Keep showing us the love, and we really truly appreciate you. Do you guys want to say something for us?
No, I'm all right. I just congratulations, Shaka, for Charmin Room.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, you'll get to buy men something now that you have money and you're running a big business, a luxurious brand.
I'm not buying men shit.
Guys, thank you. This has been Roberta Bobbie for Heartfelt with Bobbie. Thank you so much. That was Ozempic and weight loss methods. Until next time. Bye.
Hey,
Nay, Rex, Mike.
Hey.